जय श्री श्री गुरु गौरांग गंधार विकगिरिधारी श्री श्री राधा विनोद बिहारी जू की जय। श्री गोविंद गोपीनाथ मरन मोहन जू की जय। नित्य प्रविष्टम विष्णुपार शुतर शुत शिष्मल भक्तिवेदांत नारायण गोसाई महाराज श्री गुरुदेव की जय। नित्य प्रविष्टम विष्णुपार शुतर शुत शिष्मल भक्तिवेदांत वामन गोसाई महाराज की जय। नित्य प्रविष्टम विष्णुपार शुतर शुत शिष्मल भक्तिवेदांत स्वामी महाराज श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय। नित्य प्रविष्टम विष्णुपाद शत रचित शिष्मार भक्ति प्रज्ञान केशव गोसाई महाराज की जय। नित्य प्रविष्टम विष्णुपाद शत रचित शिष्मार भक्ति सिद्धांत सरस्वती गोसाई प्रभुपाद की जय। नित्य प्रविष्ट महाभागवत श्री गौरकिशोर बाबाजी महाराज की जय। नित्य प्रविष्ट श्री सच्चिदानंद भक्ति विनोद ठाकुर की जय। नित्य प्रविष्ट वैष्णव सार्वभौम श्री जगन्नाथ दास बाबाजी महाराज की जय। श्री रूपानुगौर्य गुरु वार्ग की जय। श्री रूप सनातन भट्ट रघुनाथ श्री जीव गोपाल भट्टदास रघुनाथ शारद गोसाई प्रभु की जय। श्री स्वरूप दामोदर राय रामानंदारी श्री गौर पार्षद वृंद की जय। नाम अक्षय श्री हरिदास ठाकुर की जय। प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधार श्रीवासरी गौर भक्त वृंद की जय। श्री क्षेत्र मंडल गौर मंडल ब्रज मंडल मथुरा वृंदावन धाम की जय। सर्व अभिष्ट प्रदत्त गिरिराज महाराज की जय। श्री राधा कुंद श्याम कुंद की जय। श्री यमुना देवी गंगा देवी की जय। श्री तुलसी महारानी वृंद देवी की जय। श्री भक्ति देवी की जय। श्री पूर्णमासी योग माया की जय। श्री गोपेश्वर महादेव की जय। श्री हरि नाम संकीर्तन की जय। अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय। जय श्री सच्चिनंदन गौर हरि की जय। श्री चैतन्य भागवत की जय। श्री वृंदावन दास ठाकुर की जय। द गौड़ीय भाष्य श्री भक्ति सिद्धांत सरस्वती गोसाई प्रभुपाद की जय। श्री निताय गौर प्रेमानंदे हरि हरि बोल। Hare Krishna. So we'll begin the Mangala Charan and then start our reading. अज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः। गुरुवे गौरचन्द्राय राधिकायै तदालये कृष्णाय कृष्णभक्ताय तद्भक्ताय नमो नमः। पञ्चकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपासिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। आजानुलम्बितभुजौ कनकावदातौ सङ्कीर्तनैकपितरौ कमलायताक्षौ विश्वम्भरौ द्विजवरौ युगधर्मपालौ वन्दे जगत्प्रियकरौ करुणावतारौ। नमस्त्रिकालसत्याय जगन्नाथसुताय च सभृत्याय सपुत्राय सकलत्राय ते नमः। जय 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 विश्वम्भर द्विजराज जय विश्वम्भर प्रिय वैष्णव समाज गौरचंद्र जय धर्म सेतु महाधीर जय संकीर्तनमय सुंदर शरीर जय नित्यानंदेर बांधव धन प्राण जय गदाधर अद्वैतेर प्रेम धाम जय श्री जगदानंद प्रिय अतिशय जय वक्रेश्वर काशीश्वरेर हृदय जय जय श्रीवासादि प्रिय वर्गनाथ जीव प्रति करो प्रभु शुभ दृष्टिपात मध्य खंड कथा जेनो amriter khanda, je katha shunile ghuche antar pashanda. Madhya-khaṇḍa katha bhai shuno ek chitte, sankirtana aramba hoilo jeno mate. O dear brothers, please hear attentively the topics of Madhya-khaṇḍa, wherein the inauguration of the Sankirtan pastimes is described. Tavai vasmi, na jivami tvaya vina, iti vigyaya devi tvam nayamam charanantikam. Bhaktya vihina aparada lakshai, क्षिप्ताष्टकामा दितरङ्गमध्ये कृपामयि त्वां शरणं प्रपन्ना वृन्दे नमस्ते चरणारविन्दम् भज श्रीकृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानन्द श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्तवृन्द Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Okay, now the glories of Śrī Caitanya-bhāgavata and Srila Vrindavan Das Thakur from Śrī Caitanya Charitamrita. One second. Oh, and Kishore, I'm at Chandrasekhar's place in Mayapur. Ore moro lok shuno Chaitanya Mangal, Chaitanya Mahima Jate Jani Beshakal, Krishna Lila Bhagavate Kohe Ved Vyas, Chaitanya Lila Vyas Vrindavana Das, Vrindavana Das Koilo Chaitanya Mangal, Jahara Shravane Nashe Sarvaya Mangal. Chaitanya Nitār Jate Jani Mahima, Jate Jani Krishna Bhakti Siddhanter Sima, Bhagavate Jata Bhakti Siddhanter Sar, Likhiya Chin Iha Jani Koriya Udar, Chaitanya Mangal Shune Jari Pashandi Javan, Sheho Maha Vaishnava Hoy Tatakhon. Manushe rachite nare, aiche granta dhanya, Vrindavana dasa mukhe, Bhakta Śrī Caitanya, Vrindavana dasa pode koti namaskar, aiche granta korite ho tarila sansar. Narayani Chaitanyar uchishta bhajan, तार गर्भे जन्मिला श्री दास वृंदावन तार की अद्भुत चैतन्य चरित वर्णन जाहर श्रवण शुद्ध कोइल त्रिभुवन सहजे विचित्र मधुर चैतन्य विहार वृंदावन दास मुखे अमृते धार Vrindavan dasa mukhe amriter dhar. By nature, all the activities of Śrī Caitanya Mahaprabhu are very wonderful and sweet, and when they are described by Srila Vrindavan Das Thakur, they become like a shower of nectar. Jai Srila Vrindavan Das Thakur ki Jai. The Gaudiya Bhashya of Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Prabhupada ki Jai. Śrī Caitanya-bhāgavata ki Jai. Jai Shri Sachinandan Gaura Hari ki Jai. Dandavat pranams, Nari Hari Prabhu and Bhavatarani Mataji. Oh, and sorry, yesterday I was running so late. I put the announcement in the WhatsApp group and I was running late, and so I just started the video. but I didn't. But then I found out from Kishore later that you were flying on a plane somewhere. Anyways, I hope you had a smooth journey. I don't know where you were going, but yeah. Sorry for just starting abruptly like that. um, and Dandavat Pranams Kishore Krishna Prabhu, and um, I don't know how to say your name, but is it Orika Leva Eureka? Hare Krishna. And let's see on YouTube and Facebook who is all there. Raseshwari Mataji, Haribo, Vrinda Didi, Rup Manjari Didi, Nitai, and Rukmini Didi. Haribol, everybody. And I see there's one other person there. Dandavat Pranams. One second. Oh, yes. I am with Anonymous Prabhu. That is correct. All right. So, yesterday. Well, let's just look at this one second. Where is it? All right. So in the previous chapter, we read about the various devices employed by Śrī Gaurasundara to reveal Nityananda's glories to his devotees, Mahaprabhu's instruction to Śrīvāsa to recite a verse from Srimad Bhagavatam, Nityananda's falling unconscious and exhibiting various transformations of love on hearing the verse from Srimad Bhagavatam, Mahaprabhu's embracing Nityananda, Mahaprabhu and Nityananda's conversation by signs, Nitai is revealing the purpose of Mahaprabhu's appearance, and the author's description of Nityananda's glories. That was the previous chapter. And now today I'm going to read the Gaudiya Bhashya again. Sorry, not the Kathasar by Srila Bhakti Pramod Puri Goswami Maharaj. We'll read up to the point where we're reading today. Okay, so chapter 5, Lord Nityananda's Vyāsa-pūjā ceremony and his darshan of the Lord's six-armed form. This chapter describes the Adivas Kirtan prior to the ceremony of Vyāsa-pūjā in the house of Śrīvāsa Pandit. Also of Mahaprabhu's accepting the mood of Baladev and revealing the cause of his appearance on the pretext of calling Advaita Acharya. So that's what we read about yesterday. And now today we're going to be reading about Nityananda's breaking his own sannyāsa-daṇḍa and waterpot, the pastimes of Nityananda's observance of Vyāsa-pūjā under the guidance of Śrīvāsa, Śrī Gaurasundara's exhibiting his six-armed form to Nityananda, Nityananda's falling unconscious to the ground, Nityananda's characteristics, the glories of Lord Vishnu and the Vaishnavas, and the ecstatic chanting during the Vyāsa-pūjā ceremony. I think today we're going to read up to this point, Nityananda's characteristics, and then, anyways, okay. So that was the very brief synopsis. Now here's a little bit more of a detailed synopsis. One day during his Navadvip pastimes, Sriman Mahaprabhu. Oh, Hari Bol Champak Mataji. Okay, so one day during his Navadvip pastimes, Sriman Mahaprabhu proposed to Nityananda to celebrate Vyāsa-pūjā. Understanding the intention of Mahaprabhu, Nityananda Prabhu expressed his desire to observe Vyāsa-pūjā at the house of Śrīvāsa. When Mahaprabhu asked Śrīvāsa to take responsibility of that important event, he happily agreed. Sriman Mahaprabhu was pleased with the words of Śrīvāsa, and he led Nityananda and others to Śrīvāsa's house, where they locked the door from inside and began to perform the Adivas Kirtan for the celebration of Vyāsa-pūjā. Adivas means like the eve Kirtan, the Kirtan that you do before the performance. I mean, before whatever you're observing. In order, like the day before, I mean, in order to manifest the Baladev feature of Nityananda Prabhu, The Lord became absorbed in the mood of Baladev and suddenly sat down on the Singhasan. Then the Lord demanded Baladev's plow and club from Nityananda Prabhu, who immediately placed the plow and club in the Lord's hands. As Nityananda Prabhu placed his hands on the hands of Mahaprabhu, some persons directly saw a plow and club, and some saw only their hands. Then Mahaprabhu, in the mood of Balaram, asked for varuni, or wine. All the devotees were initially perplexed, but then they gave the Lord some Ganga water, which Mahaprabhu accepted as wine and drank. In order to please Mahaprabhu in that particular mood, the devotees began to glorify Baladev. When Mahaprabhu then repeatedly called out, "Nada, Nada," the devotees were unable to understand who the Lord was addressing, and therefore they asked Mahaprabhu, and Mahaprabhu replied, "Advaita Acharya is Nada. Because of Advaita's loud calls, I have descended from Goloka to this world to preach the congregational chanting of the Lord's names, which is the religion for this age. I will distribute love and devotion that is rare for even the demigods headed by Lord Brahma to everyone, except those who are intoxicated with education, wealth, fame, austerity, and high birth, and who are offensive to Vaishnavas." On hearing these words of the Lord, all the devotees became very happy. Thereafter, Mahaprabhu embraced the devotees. Mahaprabhu embraced the devotees with love. And when he begged pardon for his restlessness, the devotees could not control their smiling. When he came back, he's like, yeah. When Nityananda Prabhu became overwhelmed with the mellows of ecstatic love, and began to exhibit restlessness, Mahaprabhu pacified him and then returned to his home. The devotees also returned to their respective homes. But Nityananda Prabhu remained at Śrīvāsa's house. And that's where we read up to yesterday. So we will complete this Kathasar on our last reading for this chapter. I don't know what I'm gonna do yet. Actually, I think I know. I'm gonna make a poll in our WhatsApp group, and I'll ask if we should just do a reading about Bhagavad Gita, like the glories of Bhagavad Gita by our acharyas, and continue reading from Caitanya-bhāgavata, or would you like to do a full Bhagavad Gita recital, like from beginning to end? But I would divide it into 3 days because I have a lot of work to do on the songbook. And so this morning reading time is really my only time that I'm reserving for doing anything else, like for reading. So it would be like we'd start tomorrow and we'd read the karma yoga section of Bhagavad Gita, like so 1/3 of the Bhagavad Gita. And then the next day we'd read the bhakti yoga section, the middle section, and then the last part would read the jnana yoga section. So we'd do the full recital, but over 3 days. Or would you prefer that I just read? Yeah, I'll put that question in our WhatsApp group. I'll make a poll and then we'll vote on it. Okay. What number we're reading up from? 67. Okay. Second, let me find that. 67. Okay. And what number are we reading up to? We're reading up to 131. Okay. I'm just gonna go back a few verses of what we read yesterday. Okay. Okay, so the Lord, in the mood of Baladev, said, "Varuni, Varuni, bring me Varuni." Finally, the devotees are perplexed, and finally they brought Ganga water. And the Lord drank it, and as he drank it, it appeared as though Lord Balaram himself was drinking. The devotees on all sides offered prayers in glorification of Balaram, as the Lord constantly called out, Narda, Narda, Narda. The Lord rolled his head back and forth while calling out, Narda, Narda. But no one understood the actual meaning of the word Narda. Everyone inquired, O Lord, who is this Narda you are calling? The Lord replied, He by whose loud cries I came. This incarnation of mine was induced by Narda, whom you all call Advaita Acharya. Narda has brought me from Vaikuntha, but now he is living free from all cares with Haridas. I have descended to inaugurate the Sankirtan movement, by which I will preach the chanting of the holy names in each and every house. Is this the first time that he's clearly explaining the reason for his descent to everybody? I think so. I will not award love of God to those fallen souls who have offended my devotees, because they are proud of their education, wealth, high birth, knowledge, and austerities. Otherwise, I will give everyone that which persons like Lord Brahma enjoy. On hearing the Lord's statement, all the devotees floated in bliss. After a while, Śrī Caitanya-bhāgavata became pacified. Hare Krishna, Shubhananda Prabhu, Dandavat Pranam. The Lord then asked, so now he's coming back, like before he was in the mood of Baladev, and now he's coming back to, yeah, I think. So the Lord then asked, have I been restless? The devotees replied, not particularly. The Lord lovingly embraced everyone and said, please do not ever be offended by my behavior. Aparadmor na loiba sarvakon. Please never be offended by my behavior. On hearing the Lord's words, all the devotees smiled. Then Nityānanda and Mahaprabhu rolled about on the ground. Nityānanda, who is non-different from Shesh, could not control his ecstatic mood and became overwhelmed in the mellows of loving devotion in Prem Ras. Prem Rase Vivala Hoila. Prabhu Shesh. One moment he laughed, one moment he cried, and the next moment he was naked. Digambar. Ambar means cloth, like clothes, dressing, and dig means the directions. So it means the directions are his clothes, nothing else. Okay. His entire body was filled with the nature of a child. Balya bhave purna hoilo sarva kalevar. Balya bhav, the nature of a child. Where was his danda? Where was his water pot? And where was his clothes? Nothing remained with him. The most grave Nityānanda became restless. These are opposites normally. Chanchalya, restlessness, and dhirata, mahadhirata, great, gravity. But the Lord personally pacified him. The maddened lion like Nityānanda was controlled by the iron rod-like words of Lord Chaitanya. He did not care for anything else. The word, I'm just reading the Gaudiya Bhasha here. The word Ankush refers to an iron rod for controlling maddened elephants. Since the iron rod in the form of Śrī Caitanya Dev's vachan, or words, refines the madness and licentiousness of the living entities, his words have been described herein as vachan ankush. Be calm, Tomorrow you must worship Vyasadeva. Speaking in this way, the Lord returned home. All the devotees then returned to their own homes, while Nityananda remained in the house of Śrīvāsa. Okay, so that's where we read up to yesterday. Haribol Prajumna Prabhu and Mantramurti Mataji. Okay. Katora Katoratre Nityananda Hunkara Koriya Nija Danda Kamandalo Felila Bhangiya. In the dead of that night, Nityananda suddenly roared loudly and broke his danda and kamandalu. Gaudiya Bhashya by Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Prabhupada. The word kamandalu refers to a water pot used by both sannyasis and brahmacharis. The householders have numerous pots to isolate purity from impurity. The sannyasis, however, have only one pot, a kamandalu. They are compelled to use this pot for all kinds of activities. According to the scriptures, the sannyasi's pot is an alabhu, or a pot made from an ash cord. Since the brahmachari's duty is to serve the sannyasi, he must carry the kamandalu of his guru. The upakurvana brahmacharis, who marry after completing their vow, reside in a particular ashram in which they study under a grahasta teacher. That is very interesting. I've never heard that. Upakurvana brahmachari. And that's brahmachari who marries after completing their vow. They reside in a particular ashram in which they study under a grahasta teacher. A brahmachari is supposed to carry the kamandalu of a parivrajak sannyasi. According to the opinion of some persons, since Śrī Nityananda Swarup lived as a brahmachari with Śrī Lakshmipati Tirtha, more confirmation, he had a kamandalu and a brahmachari danda made from either kadir, palasha, or bamboo. According to others, Śrī Nityananda Prabhu traveled as a brahmachari with Śrī Madhavendra Puripad. At present, the brahmachari disciples of the Tirtha and Ashram sannyasis are known as Swarup. The brahmachari disciples of Saraswati, Bharati, and Puri sannyasis are known as Chaitanya. The brahmachari name of Nityananda Prabhu was Swarup. Since Swarup is the brahmachari name of a Tirtha sannyasi's disciple, some people consider him a follower of Lakshmipati Tirtha rather than a follower of Madhavendra Puri. Generally, the danda is of two kinds, ekadanda or tridanda. See Adi-khaṇḍa chapter 1, verse 157, and Adi-khaṇḍa chapter 2, verse 162. Śrī Nityananda Prabhu manifested his waywardness by breaking his own danda and kamandalu prior to Vyāsa-pūjā. One who experiences transformations of ecstatic love completely abandons the ingredients and external formalities of Vaidhi Bhakti, a regulative devotional service. But if one creates disturbances by acting like an ichare paka, then he cannot be identified as a rasik or an expert in transcendental mellows. I don't have access to the footnotes right now, but ichare paka, I didn't say ichare, isn't it ichor? Anyways, ichor is means jackfruit, and paka means ripe. But no, Ichor actually is the what is it? Ichor is jackfruit, but it's not the fruit kind. It's the kinds that you cook. You know, like you've had a jackfruit sabji before, right? Anybody here? It's the kind that you cook. It's not sweet or anything like that. It's unripe jackfruit, but it's paka. It's ripe, so it means like uh an unripe jackfruit that has gone like rotten, kind of. Um, like it was prematurely picked, and you usually use that for a sabji, but you've let it gone bad, like by making it go. It's not supposed to go paka. Each order is never supposed to go paka. So that's how Srila, that was a unique term that Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur would use. I think he probably coins the term, and it's that's what he uses for people who are delving into high topics, are like acting beyond their qualification. Um, they're Ichare pakas. So like sahajiyas are Ichare pakas. Let me see if I got that all right. Rukmini says this is an important and famous Gaudiya Bhashya. Yeah, this is yeah. We were talking about this Gaudiya Bhashya yesterday, actually, at the end, right? That we were going to. Anyway, so that's a very important term to know, like if you want to understand the language of Srila Saraswati Thakur. I'm not sure if I explained it clearly enough, but yeah. So, yeah. Yeah, it's not this, it's the make curry jackfruit, Vrindadidi, not the sweet jackfruit. And but it's that curry jackfruit that you're mentioning, but it's gone bad. Okay. কে ভুজায়ে ঈশ্বরের চরিত্র অখণ্ড কেনে ভাঙ্গিলেন নিজ কমণ্ডলু দণ্ড. Who can understand the unlimited characteristics of the Supreme Lord? Why did he break his danda and kamandalu? Gaudiya Bhashya. Also, sorry, I'm going back to this purport right here. Kishore was mentioning yesterday, right? You're saying that Srila Bhakti Rakshak Kshira Goswami Maharaj said that Nityananda Prabhu is not a sannyasi, that he is a brahmachari, right? And that's why he kept the brahmachari name. And brahmachari name of those under Lakshmipati Tirtha is Swarup. So yeah, and in this also, Srila Saraswati Thakur never mentioned him being a sannyasi, right? He said that sannyasi, maybe like Nityananda would carry the kamandalu and danda of Lakshmipati Tirtha, but doesn't mention anything. And he had a kamandalu and a brahmachari danda. He lived as brahmachari. So yeah, this is more evidence. Yeah. Okay. So now next verse. Who can understand the unlimited characteristics of the Supreme Lord? Why did he break his danda and kamandalu? Gaudiya Bhashya. Various persons have various ideas about why Sri Nityananda Prabhu broke his danda and kamandalu. But we have to consider the degree of consistency between the imagination of ordinary people and the real purpose of Nityananda Prabhu. Some people say that there is no need for rules and symbols in the worship of the Lord, and that these are actually impediments on the path of rag, or attachment. Others say that if an unqualified person breaks the rules and symbols, considering them obstacles in the path of rag, he will simply create disturbances. This point is so important, so important, because people have such a wrong idea of what rag is, what raganuga is. They think it means that you just break rules and regulations, and that you just, it's just all about your feelings and the love of the Vrajvasis. No need any more rules. Like this is all about love, not rules. Vaidhi bhakti is all just harsh rules and fear and all that. But now I'm just do everything on the platform of love and don't follow any more rules. But no, anybody who does this, they'll simply create disturbances. Shruti, an unqualified person, yeah. Shruti Smriti Puranadi Pancharatra Viding Vina Aikantiki Harer Bhaktir Utpata Yaiva Kalpate. This is in it's in Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. I'm not sure if Rupa Goswami wrote it or if he quoted it, but yeah, Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. Devotional service of the Lord that ignores the authorized Vedic literatures like the Upanishads, Puranas, and Narad Pancharatra is simply an unnecessary disturbance in society. One second, just looking at the comment. Oh, you're smiling at my explanation. Thanks. Since the acceptance, I've heard people misuse the word raganuga so many times. It's like a very big misconception. Raganuga means that everything you do is based on a rag of this greed and attachment. So you perform all the rules and regulations, like you do it even more enthusiastically, but you're not doing it based on fear. You're doing it out of love. And yeah, you can break, but like when you're on a very high level, then yeah, there might be some things in Shastra that you don't follow. But anyways, it's a lot more nuanced of a topic than just like, yeah. Okay. Since the acceptance of brahmachari symbols by an avadut paramahansa like Śrī Nityānanda Prabhu from a sannyasi on the regulative platform will create various speculations unfavorable to devotional service, Lord Nityananda Prabhu, who is beyond all rules and regulations of Varnashram, eliminated those insignificant formalities. But those who, due to absorption in matter, try to imitate and expand their own glories by engaging in activities beyond their qualification, they can never achieve any auspiciousness by such acts. Yeah, if you want to behave like an avadut, then you have to be an avadut and not have any, like, not care about what you eat, not be happy eating mud and like being completely beyond any temptations of the body. Then maybe you can be on that kind of level. But otherwise, no, we have to follow these rules. And all unqualified persons are not qualified. In the Srimad Bhagavatam 10:33-30, it is stated, Naitat samacharej jatu manasapi yanishvara vinashyatya charan modhyad yatarudhobdijam visham. One who is not a great controller should never imitate the behavior of ruling personalities, even mentally. If out of foolishness, an ordinary person does imitate such behavior, he will simply destroy himself, just as a person who is not Rudra would destroy himself if he tried to drink an ocean of poison. One should be careful not to disregard this instruction. Elsewhere in the Srimad Bhagavatam 10:14-21, it is stated, Ko veti bhuman bhagavan paratman yogeshvarotir bhavatas trilokyam va katam ka va kativa kadeti vistarayan kridasi yoga mayam. O Supreme Great One, O Supreme Personality of Godhead, O Supersoul, Master of all mystic power, your pastimes are taking place continuously in these three worlds. But who can estimate where, how, and when you are employing your spiritual energy and performing these innumerable pastimes? No one can understand the mystery of how your spiritual energy acts. Just looking at the comments. Oh, Rup Manjari is saying that it is Oh, Vrinda Didi is asking, what Bhashya? Are you talking about what we're reading? Gaudiya Bhashya by Srila Bhakti said. No, I don't understand your question totally. Um, oh, what is the meaning of Bhashya? Is commentary. Yes, correct. And then Rup Manjari is saying, um, oh, this Ichore Paka is a common Bengali idiom, huh? But his usage of it is unique. Okay, got it. Cool. A mother might say this about a little girl who is trying to act like an adult. Okay. Uh-huh. Really, what it means is one thinks that one is ripe when one is not. Okay, thanks for that. That's very clear. One thinks it one is ripe when one is not. Okay. Oh, and just one point. I've made this point before, but when yeah, so people will think, oh, I'm following Raganuga means like, you know, I wake up super early, like I wake up early in the morning and I do my onik and will worship Thakurji without taking bath. But no, it's Raganuga. You know, I'm beyond like I don't follow these rules and I'm trying to follow Raganuga. That's how people will use Raganuga very often. But we see the example of who is it? Raghava Pandit. Oh, that's in Srimad Bhagavatam. I'm sorry, Chaitanya Charitamrita, I think. But there's a description of how with how much love and care he would serve Thakurji. And he would find out all the villages around. He'd find out which village had like the best coconut, the sweetest, most like coconut. I think it was coconut, the example, or maybe it was something else. I think it was coconut though. And so he would travel a long distance to get this coconut and bring it all the way back. And then he, washed it and cut it and then gave it to the pujari. And then the pujari, when he was going in to make the off, he touched the top of the door or something like that, like the outside, like of the wall or something. And then he touched the coconut again and put it. And then Raghava Pandit said, "Throw away the coconut; it's useless now." Because and like he chastised the pujari because the dust that from people's feet would rise up and go on the wall, and now you touch that wall and then you touch the coconut and now the coconut's contaminated and throw it away, it's not offerable anymore. Like that was how high his standard was. And that, that is such a high standard of following rules and like, but it was out of his love. He wants everything that he offers to be the most pure thing possible. And would you say that he's a Vaidhi Bhakta because he was so strict about that rule? No, it was because of his overflowing love that he had such a high standard like that. Why would he go to the furthest, like a faraway village just because he hears that they have a nice coconuts there and then bring it all the way back? It's all out of love and the high standard and everything. So that is a Raganuga Bhakti. We'll follow things even more intensely and strictly than a Vaidhi Bhakta out of love, out of this rag, attachment. And yeah. Okay. So, okay. प्रभाते उठिया देखे रामाय पंडित ओ हरे कृष्ण कृष्ण माई दीदी प्रभाते उठिया देखे रामाय पंडित भांग दंड कमंडलु देखिया विस्मिता. When Ramai Pandit rose early the next morning, he was astonished on seeing the broken danda and kamandalu. Ramai Pandit is Śrīvāsa Pandit's brother. Panditer স্থানে কহিলেন ততক্ষণে শ্রীবাস বলেন যাও ঠাকুরের স্থানে. He immediately informed Śrīvāsa Pandit, who told him, "Go and inform the Lord." This is a what? This is like a, shocking. How could he do that? Gaudiya Bhashya. The phrase Thakurer Stane means to Śrī Gaurasundara. রামায়ের মুখে শুনে আইলা ঠাকুর বাহ্য নাহি নিত্যানন্দ হাসেন প্রচুর. Being informed by Ramai, The Lord came there and found Nityananda profusely laughing. I mean, could you imagine if you saw like one of our sannyasis getting their danda and just like breaking it into pieces? They're like, what? Yeah, so that's what happened. That's what Nityananda Prabhu did. And then they found him, Mahaprabhu found Nityananda profusely laughing. Danda loilen Prabhu Shri Haste Tuliya Cholilen Ganga Snane Nityananda Loya. The Lord picked up the broken danda with his own hands and went with Nityananda to take bath in the Ganga. Śrīvāsadi sabai cholila Ganga snane danda tuilen Prabhu Gangai apane. Accompanied by Śrīvāsa and other devotees, the Lord went to the Ganga and put the broken danda in the water. Gaudiya Bhashya. Mahaprabhu personally threw Nityananda Swarup's danda into the Ganga. Chanchala Shri Nityananda namane bachan, tabe ekabar Prabhu koroye tarjan. The restless Nityananda did not listen to anyone. That is why the Lord sometimes admonished him. Kumbhir dekhiya tare, dhori pare jai, gadadhar Śrīvāsa kore hi hi. When Nityananda saw a crocodile, he attempted to catch it. Gadadhar and Śrīvāsa exclaimed, alas, alas, hi hi. Santare Gangar Maje Nirbhoy Sharir Chaitanyar Bhakya Matra Kichu Hoy Stir. He fearlessly swam through the waters of the Ganga, but he was somewhat pacified by Chaitanya's words. Nityānanda prati daki bole Vishvambhar Vyāsa-pūjā asi jhat koroho satvar. Vishvambar called to Nityananda. He said, come quickly and celebrate Vyāsa-pūjā. Suniya Prabhur Vakya Utila Tokhane Snan Kori Grihe Ailen Prabhu Sane. Hearing the Lord's words, Nityananda completed his bath and returns to Śrīvāsa's house with the Lord. 1 second. Asya milila sab Bhagavata gan Nirabadi Krishna Krishna Koriche Kirtan. All the devotees gradually assembled together, and they began to incessantly chant the names of Krishna. Śrīvāsa Pandita Vyāsa-pūjār Acharya Chaitanyar Agyai Koren Sarva Karja. Śrīvāsa Pandit was appointed the head priest. On Lord Chaitanya's instructions, he completed all formalities. Madhur 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 Shabe Koren Kirtan Śrīvāsa Mandir Hoilo Vaikunta Bhavan. Everyone chanted so sweetly that the house of Śrīvāsa was transformed into Vaikunta. Oh, after I said that thing about imagine if one of our sannyasis like broke their danda, Rup Manjari has been making the point that, but he wasn't a sannyasi. That was the point of the commentary. It would be like a brahmachari sevak broken his late sannyasi's danda. Yeah, yeah, you're totally right. I was just mentioning that just to like make the point of like the shock that the people must have had, like, what? He broke his danda because the danda is such a respected thing, and then he broke that. But yeah, it's true that he was not a sannyasi, so it was a different situation like that. Sarva Shastra Gyata She Thakur Pandita Korila Shakal Karja Jaividhi bodhita. Śrīvāsa Pandit was conversant with all scriptures. He performed all the activities according to scriptural injunctions. Gaudiya Bhashya. Śrīvāsa Pandit acted as the head priest for the Vyāsa-pūjā. He properly performed all the necessary functions. Śrīvāsa Pandit was most learned in the scriptures. His house was directly by Vaikuṇṭha. Profuse kirtan was performed there. Devya Gandha Sahita Sundarbana Mala Nityānanda Hate Diya Kohite Lagila. He placed an attractive garland of forest flowers in the hands of Nityānanda and spoke to him. Shuno Shuno Nityānanda Ei Mala Dharo Vachan Podiya Vyasa Deve Namaskaro. O Nityānanda, please listen. After reciting the appropriate mantras, offer this garland and your obeisances to Vyasadeva. Gaudiya Bhashya. Śrīvāsa Pandit placed a fragrant garland of forest flowers in the hands of Nityānanda and asked him to offer obeisances to Vyasa. Shastra Vidhi Ache Mala Apane Se Diba Vyasa Tushta Hoile Sarva Abhishta Paiba. It is the injunction of the scriptures that one should personally offer a garland to Vyasadeva. For if Vyasadeva is pleased, all your desires will be fulfilled. Jata Shune Nityānanda Kore Hoy Hoy Kiser Vachan Pat Prabodha Naloy. After hearing what Shiva said, Nityānanda replied, Hoy, hoy, yes, yes. But he did not appear to know which mantras he should recite. Kiba bole dhire dhire, bujhan na jai, mala hate kori puna chari dike chai. He murmured something that no one could understand, and while holding the garland in his hands, he looked around. Prabhure dakiya bole Śrīvāsa udar, na pujen Vyasa Śrīpad tomar. Thereafter, the magnanimous Śrīvāsa informs the Lord, your Śrīpad is not worshipping Vyasa. Śrīvāser Bhakya Shuni Prabhu Vishvambar, Dhaya Sammukhe Prabhu Aila Satvar. On hearing Śrīvāsa's words, Lord Vishvambar quickly came before Nityānanda. Prabhu bole Nityānanda shunoho bachan, mala diya koro jhat, Vyaser pujan. The Lord said, O Nityānanda, please hear me. Quickly offer the garland and then worship Vyasadeva. Quickly offer the garland and then worship Vyasadeva. Dekhile Nityānanda Prabhu Vishvambar, Mala tuli dilatar mastak upar. As Nityānanda saw Lord Vishvambar standing before him, he offered the garlands to him. He offered the garlands to him, to Lord Vishvambar. Gaudiya Bhashya. Śrī Nityānanda was not inspired by the words of Śrīvāsa, so he held the garland in his hands, murmured something, and looked around. When Nityānanda neglected to offer his obeisances and the garlands to Śrīvāsa, and Śrīvāsa informed Mahaprabhu about this, then Mahaprabhu instructed Nityānanda to worship Śrīvāsa with the garlands. Thereafter, Mahaprabhu saw Nityānanda offer the garlands to him. In this way, Śrī Nityānanda completed Vyāsa-pūjā by offering a garland to that personality from whom everything emanates, and whose empowered incarnation is Śrīvāsa. All expansions, incarnations, energies, and devotees are included within Lord Śrī Caitanya-deva. Therefore, according to the consideration of the two verses, Yatha Toror Mula Nishechanena and Sattvam Vishuddham Vasudeva Shabditam. So according to these two verses, by worshipping Śrī Caitanya-dev, who is the original source of everything, all spiritual masters are automatically worshipped. And Archan, when you're doing the Guru Puja, there's one mantra that you say. What is it? I think it's Om Sarva Guru Tamaya. Om Sarva Guru Tamaya. I think. Śrī Caitanya Namaha. That's like the mantra you chant for Mahaprabhu. Om Sarva Guru Tamaya Śrī Caitanya Namaha. Mahaprabhu, who is like obeisances to Mahaprabhu, who is the embodiment of all gurus. All spiritual masters are automatically worshipped by worshipping Śrī Caitanya-dev, who is the source of everything. Also, in describing the chain of disciplic succession, the scriptures state, Lord Brahma, the creator of the universe, became, okay, this is probably giving his Sanskrit, Srila Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada. Actually, I think he was quoting from, I don't know who it was, forgot who wrote it. Was it Gopal Bhatta Goswami or Gopal Guru Goswami? Or I don't know why those names are coming to my head. But yeah, these verses, I think, came from one of them. And then, so this is a translation. Lord Brahma, the creator of the universe, became the disciple of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Shri Krishna. Brahma's disciple was Narad. Narad's disciple was Vyāsa. The famous Madhvacharya personally received initiation from Vyāsa. Madhvacharya's disciple was the exalted Padmanabhacharya. Padmanabhacharya's disciple was Narahari. Narahari's disciple was Madhav. Madhav's disciple was Akshubhya. Akshubhya's disciple was Jayatirtha, whose disciple was Jnanasindhu. Jnanasindhu's disciple was Mahanidhi, whose disciple was Vidyanidhi. Vidyanidhi's disciple was Rajendra, whose disciple was Jayadharma Muni. A disciple of Jayadharma was Purushottam, whose disciple was Vyāsatirtha. Vyāsatirtha's disciple was Shriman Lakshmipati, who is like a great reservoir of the nectar of devotional service. Lakshmipati's disciple was Madhavendra Puri, a great preacher of devotional service. Among Madhavendra Puri's disciples were Shriman Ishwar Puri, Advaita Acharya, and Nityānanda Prabhu. I worship Lord Chaitanya, who accepted Shriman Ishwar Puri as his spiritual master. Hari Bol Sudevi Didi. Chanchar chikore mala shobhe ati bhala. Wait. Oh yeah, okay. Chanchara chikore mala shobhe ati bhalo. Ṣaḍbhuja Vishwambhar hoila tatkal. The garlands looked most enchanting upon the curly hair of the Lord. At that time, Vishwambar manifested his six-armed form. Jai Ṣaḍbhuja ki jai. Ṣaḍbhuja Vishwambar ki jai. Shankha Chakra Gada Parma Shihal Mushal Dekhiya Murchita Hoila Nitai Vival. On seeing the conch, disc, club, lotus, plow, and mushal, Nitai was overwhelmed and fell unconscious. Gaudiya Bhashya. Being garlanded by Nityānanda, Śrī Caitanya-dev displayed his six-armed form. In his 6 hands, he held the conch, disc, club, lotus, plow, and mushal. Upon seeing this, Nityānanda fell unconscious in ecstasy. Ṣaḍbhuja deki murcha paila nitai, podila prithvi tole, dhatu matra nai. As soon as Nitai saw the 6-armed form, he fell unconscious to the ground with no symptoms of life. ভয় পাইলেন সব বৈষ্ণবের গণ, রক্ষক রক্ষক কৃষ্ণ করেন স্মরণ. All the Vaishnavas became frightened and prayed, "O Krishna, please protect him. Oh Krishna," sorry, they prayed, "Oh Krishna, please protect him. Oh Krishna, please protect him. Rakha Krishna, Raksha Krishna." হুঙ্কার করেন জগন্নাথের নন্দন, কক্ষে তালি দেই ঘন বিশাল গর্জন. The son of Jagannath roared loudly, Vishal Garjan, and repeatedly slapped his sides. Murcha gela Nityānanda, Ṣaḍbhuja dekhiya, apane Chaitanya tole gaye hath diya. Utho Nityānanda stir koro chitta, sankirtan shunoho tomar samihita. Utho Nityananda. When Nityananda fell unconscious on seeing the six-armed form, Lord Chaitanya personally picked him up with his own hands and said, "Oh Nityananda, Utho, get up, and stir koro chitta, steady your mind. Listen to the congregational chanting that you have begun." Gaudiya Bhashya. When Nityananda Prabhu fell unconscious on seeing the six-armed form of Śrī Gaurasundara, Mahaprabhu picked him up and said, "Steady your mind and hear the Sankirtan inaugurated by you. Jai Kirtana Nimitta Tomar Avatar, She Tomar Siddha Hoilo Kiba Chaho Ar." The Kirtan for which you have incarnated to inaugurate is going on before you. What more do you want? Gaudiya Bhashya. Since there's a famine of Since there's a famine of Hari's glorification in this world, you have incarnated from Goloka to glorify Hari and induce others to glorify Hari. That act is now fulfilled. So what further prayer do you have? Tomar she prem bhakti, tumi premamoy, bina tumi dile karo bhakti nahi hoy. Loving devotional service belongs to you, for you are the personification of ecstatic love. You are tumi premamoy. Unless you distribute this devotional service, no one can possess it. Unless you distribute this prem bhakti. Gaudiya Bhashya. You are the foremost of all devotees and are most dear to Mukunda. No one is able to achieve the Lord's service without your mercy. The wealth of love and devotion belongs to you alone. You are directly the personification of the Lord's service. Apana sambari utho nija jan chaho, jahare to tomar icha, tahare bilaho. Please control yourself and get up. Glance mercifully on your intimate associates and distribute this wealth to whomever you desire. Gaudiya Bhashya. You have become overwhelmed with ecstatic love and forgotten yourself. But now control your loving sentiments and distribute this love to anyone you desire. Please glance mercifully on your subordinates. Tilardheka tomare jahar desha rahe, bhojile oshe amar priya kabu nahe. Anyone who maintains the slightest envy of you is never dear to me, even if he worships me. Gaudiya Bhashya. O Nityānanda, if a person has the slightest distaste for you, and if under the influence of this he becomes envious of your service, then even though such a person worships me, I can never respect him. Paila Chaitanya Nitai Prabhur Vachane, Hoila Anandamoy, Ṣaḍbhuja darśane. Nitai regained consciousness by the Lord's words. He became filled with ecstasy on seeing the six-armed form. Gaudiya. By the words of Sriman Mahaprabhu, Nityananda regained external consciousness. He became absorbed in bliss on seeing the six-armed form of Śrī Gaurasundara. Je ananta hridaye voisen gora chandra, Shri Prabhu avismoy jana Nityānanda. Know for certain that Ananta, in whose heart Gaurachandra resides, is non-different from Nityānanda. Gaudiya. That Anantadev, in whose heart Gaurachandra resides, is none other than Nityānanda. There is no cause for astonishment or doubt in this regard. Know without doubt that Śrī Nityananda Prabhu is Balaram. Kishore Krishna Prabhu is saying that Jiva Goswami says that one can worship Mahaprabhu for 100 lives, but will never attain him if he rejects Nitai. Beautiful. Ṣaḍbhuja drishti tane kon arbhuta avatar anurupa eshav kautuka. The manifestation of the Lord's six-armed form is not astonishing, for all such manifestations are simply pastimes of his various incarnations. Gaudiya. Śrī Nityananda Prabhu's darshan of Gaurasundara's six-armed form is not at all surprising. Such remarkable forms are manifest according to the requirement of Gaura's pastimes. Śrī Gaurasundara is the source of all incarnations. Therefore, for him to hold the plow and club of his expansion and the four weapons of his Vishnu form is not at all amazing. Śrī Nityananda Prabhu is capable of seeing his own plow and club and the four weapons, such as the conch and disc, in the hands of the Lord, who is the origin of all Vishnu tattvas. That is why Srila Kaviraj Goswami has acknowledged that the tattvas, or truths, like Swayamrup, Prakash, and Avatar, are included in he who is known by the name Krishna Chaitanya. The Prakash, or expansion, the Avatar, or incarnation, the Shaktis, or energies, and the Bhaktas, or devotees, are not separate from the Swayamrup, or the original personality of Godhead. So the Lord's expansions, incarnations, energies, and devotees are not separate from his Swayamrup, from the original personality of Godhead. Within Krishna Chaitanya, all of them are individually included with simultaneously distinct characteristics. To exhibit this Achinta Bheda Bhed philosophy in his Gaur Lila, the Lord displayed his six-armed form to Śrī Nityananda Prabhu. Raghunatha Prabhu Jeno Pinda Dana Koila Pratyaksha Hoya Taha Dasharata Loila. When Lord Ramachandra offered oblations to his father Dasharath, he directly accepted them. Gaudiya. When Ramachandra, during his pastimes, offered oblations to his father Dasharath, his father personally came and accepted them. In the same way, when Śrī Nityananda Prabhu offered the garlands in worship of Śrī Gaurasundara, he saw the Lord as having six arms. She jadi arbhuta tave eho adbhuta nishchoy shakal e Krishner kotuka. If that was wonderful, then this is also. Know for certain that they are all Krishna's sporting pastimes, Krishna's kotuk. Gaudiya. If Dasharath's acceptance of oblations from Ramachandra can create astonishment in ordinary people, then why shouldn't this incident also create astonishment? These are all Krishna's transcendental pastimes. Nityānanda swaruper swabhava sarvatha tilardhika dasya bhava na hoy anyata. The natural characteristic of Nityananda Swarup is that he cannot give up the mood of servitorship for even a moment. Tilardhika dasya bhav na hoy anyata. Gaudiya Bhashya. In his pastimes as a spontaneous servant, Śrī Nityananda Swarup is never devoid of the mentality of service to the Lord for even a fraction of a second. He constantly serves Gaurasundara in all respects and does not endeavor for anything else. This is confirmed in Chaitanya Charitamrita Adi 5:120 as follows. Ishwarer seva bina nahi jane ar. He knows nothing but service to Lord Krishna. Ishwarer seva bina nahi jane ar. Lakshmaner swabhava jeheno anukhan Sita valabher dasya mana pranadhan. The natural characteristic of Lakshman is to always serve the beloved Lord of Sita with his mind, life, and wealth. Gaudiya Bhashya. Just as Lakshman exhibits external spontaneous service propensities in the service of Sita's beloved Lord Ramachandra, Nityananda also exhibits constant, uninterrupted endeavors in the service of Lord Gaurachandra. Ei mata Nityananda swaruper man Chaitanya Chandrer dase prita anukhan. In this way, the mind of Nityananda Swarup is always pleased in the service of Śrī Caitanya-Chandra. Jadyapi ho ananta Ishvar nirashray Shrishti stiti pralayer hetu jaganmoy. He is the unlimited, independent controller and the cause of universal creation, maintenance, and annihilation. Shrishti, Stiti, and Pralay. Gaudiya Bhashya. Although Lord Vishnu is without limit, he is the Lord of all, and not fit for accepting subordination to any other object. He enters into all universes and establishes himself as the cause of their creation, maintenance, and annihilation. Sarva Shrishti Tirobhav Jeshamoye Hoy Tokhon O Anantarupa Satya Vedekoi. It is stated in the Vedas that at the time of final dissolution, the Lord, in his form of Ananta, remains unaffected. Gaudiya Bhashya. The Vedic literatures describe Ananta as the unlimited independent controller who enters into all universes and who is the only cause of the creation, maintenance, and annihilation of this visible world. Nevertheless, to conduct these activities, he manifests within the material creation at the appropriate time, his form of Ananta. Tatapi Shri Ananta Dever Swabhav Niravadi Prema Dasya Bhave Anurag. Still, the natural characteristic of Śrī Anantadev is to remain constantly attached to the loving service of the Lord. Gaudiya Bhashya. Although from the material point of view, Ananta manifests the characteristic of being subordinate to the Lord, he always remains situated as the object of service, in the mood of servant. His constitutional position is never distorted by giving up the worship of his worshipable Lord. Juge juge prati avatare avatare swabhava tahar dasya bhuja ho vichare. Consider carefully how in every yuga and in every incarnation, it is his natural characteristic to remain the servant of the Lord. Shri Lakshmana avatare anuja hoya niravadi seven ananta dasya paya. In his incarnation as Lakshman, Ananta is the Lord's younger brother and is always engaged in serving the Lord. Annapani nidra chari Shri Rama charan sevi yao akanka napure anukan. Although he gave up eating, drinking, and sleeping to constantly serve the lotus feet of Sri Ram, he was still not satiated. Gaudiya Bhashya. Sri Lakshman gave up drinking, eating, and sleeping, and constantly remained busy in the service of Sri Ramachandra. Yet he considered his service inadequate. Lakshman's desire to serve Sri Ram was never satiated. So expansive was his service attitude. Jeshta hoyao balarama avatare. Oh, I think this is supposed to be, I don't know actually. Jeshta hoy jao balarama avatare or Jeshta. No. It's hoya o. Sorry, guys. Jeshta hoya o balarama avatare. Dasya joga kabu na chari len antare. Although in his incarnation as Balaram, he was the elder brother, he never gave up the mood of service from his heart. Gaudiya Bhashya. The relationship of servant manifested by Lakshman as the younger brother in Sri Ram's pastimes. So that was not incongruous from the material viewpoint. Wait. The relationship of servant manifested by Lakshman as the younger brother in Sri Ram's pastimes was not incongruous from the material viewpoint. But although he was the object of respect when he appeared as the elder brother of Krishna, he nevertheless always maintains the attitude of a subordinate servant. In the Chaitanya Charitamrita, Adi 5, 135 to 137, it is stated, sometimes he serves Lord Chaitanya as his guru, sometimes as his friend, and sometimes as his servant, just as Lord Balaram played with Lord Krishna in these three different modes in Vraj. Playing like a bull, Lord Balaram fights with Krishna head to head. And sometimes Lord Krishna massages the feet of Lord Balaram. He considers himself a servant and knows Krishna to be his master. Thus, he regards himself as a fragment of his plenary portion. We have 5 more minutes. We're reading for 5 more minutes. Swami koi shabde she bolen Krishna prati bhakti bina kokon na hoy anyamati. He addresses Krishna as Swami or Lord. His mind never deviates from devotional service. Gaudiya Bhashya. Sri Baladev Prabhu addresses Krishna as Swami or Lord. Balaram does not think of anything other than the service of Krishna. Shri Prabhu apane ananta mahashoy Nityānanda Mahaprabhu jani ho nishchoy. Know for certain that the Lord known as Ananta is non-different from Nityānanda Prabhu. Gaudiya Bhashya. One should know that he who serves the Lord as Ananta is Nityānanda. And one should know that the Lord who accepts the eternal service of his servant, and one should know that the Lord who accepts the eternal service of his servant Nityānanda is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. See Chaitanya Charitamrita, Adi 7:14. Ihate je Nityānanda Balarama prati Bheda drishti heno kore Shei mudha mati. Therefore, anyone who discriminates between Nityananda and Balaram is certainly a fool. Gaudiya Bhashya. Śrī Nityananda Prabhu is directly Lord Balaram. It is to be understood that the intelligence of one who considers Nityananda Prabhu as different from Balaram is polluted by the influence of the illusory energy. Seva vigraher prati anadar jar Vishnu stane aparadha sarvata tahar. One who disrespects the servitor personality of Godhead certainly commits an offense to Lord Vishnu. Gaudiya Bhashya. The worshipable object is called Sevya Vigraha, or object of service. One who serves that worshipable object is called one who serves that worshipable object is called the Seva Vigraha, or the servitor personality of Godhead. There's the Sevya Vigraha, the object of service, and the Seva Vigraha, or the one who worships that Sevya, the abode of that service. Sorry, no, you get it. Swayam Rup Rajendra Nandan. So Krishna is Sevya Vigraha, he is the object of service, and Baladev Prabhu is Seva Vigraha, I guess. He is the one who serves the worshipable. He is the servitor personality of Godhead. Swayam Rup Rajendra Nandan is the eternal object of worship, and Swayam Prakash Baladev is the eternal abode of worship. In the language of those who write Alankar Shastra, Krishna is called the Vishaya Vigraha, or the object of worship, and his energies headed by Baladev are called the Ashaya Vigrahas, or Sevak Vigrahas, the abodes of worship. They are the abodes of worship, yes. Ashaya Vigraha. One who respects the Sevya Vigraha while disrespecting the Sevak Vigraha can never please the Seva Vigraha. Rather, he becomes an object of neglect and falls into the mire of offense. In the Adi Purana, it is stated, Ye me bhakta jana partha, na me bhaktas chate jana, mar bhaktanam chaye bhaktas, te me bhakta tamamataha. O my dear Partha, those who claim to be my devotees are not my devotees. But those who claim to be devotees of my devotees, they are actually my devotees. What time is it? Ooh, only one more minute. Brahma Maheshwar Vandya Yadyapi Kamala Tavutar Swabhava Charana Seva Kela. Although Lakshmi is worshipped by Brahma and Shiva, her natural tendency is to serve the lotus feet of the Supreme Lord. Okay, we'll read this commentary and stop for today. Gaudiya Bhashya. Swayam Prakash Baladev Prabhu manifests his form of Sankarshan as well as various Vishnu forms and accepts worship from others. Yet his service attitude remains undisturbed. In order to support this statement, the author gives the example of Lakshmi Devi, the goddess of fortune. Service to Krishna is also the natural tendency of Lakshmi, who is worshipped by Brahma and Shiva. Although Lakshmi Devi is respected by the four-headed Brahma and the annihilator Lord Shiva, she remains engaged in the service of the Lord. In the Srimad Bhagavatam 3:15-21, it is stated, Shri Rupini Kvanayati Charanarvindam Lilam Pujena Harisadmani Mukta Dosha Samlakshate Spartika Kudya Upetahemni Samarjati Va Yad Anugrahane Anugrahinyan Ninyayatna. Sorry, I messed that up. The ladies of the Vaikuntha planets are as beautiful as the goddess of fortune herself. Such transcendently beautiful ladies, their hands playing with lotuses and their leg bangles tinkling, are sometimes sweeping they are sometimes sweeping the marble walls, which are bedecked at intervals with golden borders, in order to receive the grace of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Elsewhere in Srimad Bhagavatam 1.16.32, it is stated, Pramadayo bahutitam yadapanga moksha kamastapa samacharan bhagavat prapanna shastri svasam vasam aravindavanam vihaya yat padaso bhagam alam bhajate nurakta. Lakshmi Ji, the goddess of fortune, whose glance of grace was sought by demigods like Brahma, and for whom they surrendered many a day unto the personality of Godhead, she gave up her own abode in the forest of lotus flowers and engaged herself in the service of the lotus feet of the Lord. Okay, so we're ending on this verse because the time is up. It's 2 minutes past time. So we're going to stop here. 1, 2, 3. That's easy to remember. Okay, and I'm just going to read the translations up to where we're supposed to read today. It's just a few. So Lord Shesh is endowed with all energies, yet it is his natural characteristic to serve the Lord. Therefore, the Lord is most satisfied to glorify his characteristics. It is the natural characteristic of the Supreme Lord to remain controlled by his devotees. The Lord takes special pleasure in glorifying his devotees. Both Vishnu and the Vaishnavas take pleasure in glorifying each other. Therefore, the Vedas describe their spontaneous pastimes. I write the glories of Vishnu and the Vaishnavas according to the evidence given in the Puranas. The thoughts and words of Nityānanda Swarup are, Lord Chaitanya is a Supreme Lord, and I am one of his eternal servants. Day and night, no words came from his mouth other than I am his servant, and he is my Lord in all respects. Anyone who glorifies me along with Lord Chaitanya is actually my servant and will certainly achieve me. So that Nityananda personally saw the six-armed form of the Lord. Therefore, I am describing these topics for his pleasure. On the spiritual platform, Nityananda always sees the pastimes of Śrī Gaurasundara in his heart, and they certainly both always see each other. Yet, Śrī Nityananda serves the Lord by acting in accordance with the pastimes of their incarnations. Who can understand his pastimes? The Supreme Lord accepts service from himself as sung about and described in the Vedas, the Mahabharata, and the Puranas. The activities performed by the Supreme Lord are called Veda. Anyways, it keeps on going on. So, let's just read this one verse. Without engaging in devotional service, no one can understand this. This is known to a few people by the mercy of Gaurachandra. Okay, so, it's going to go into this topic. This is a very important topic. On our next reading, we're going to read how the Vaishnavas are eternally pure and full of knowledge. Their quarreling is simply part of their pastimes. If someone who has lost his intelligence and does not understand this, if that person worships one and criticizes the other, he will be ruined. Srila Bhakti Pramod Puri Goswami Maharaj would quote this verse a lot. Just as a foolish person who worships the feet of a Brahmin and then beats him in the head goes to hell, one who worships the deity form of Lord Vishnu and then disrespects that same Lord who is situated in the hearts of all living entities also goes to hell. What to speak of being envious of Vaishnavas? If one causes pain to ordinary living entities, he is considered a fallen, low-class person. Even after worshipping Lord Vishnu, if a person gives trouble to other living entities, his worship becomes fruitless. Such a person suffers unlimited miseries. Wow, this is great. So this is what we're going to read about tomorrow. It's such an important, one of the most important topics ever is this topic. So, yeah. So if anybody's part of our WhatsApp group, please fill the poll that I will make in this morning. I'll finish it. And please, within the next 24 hours, actually, no, do it as soon as possible. Let me know if you would like tomorrow to I could read a beautiful article by my Param Gurudev called um, Gitopanishade Atmanivedan. It's on the glories of Bhagavad Gita by my the Atmanivedan found in Bhagavad Gita. It's a beautiful article. So I could read that and maybe we can sing the Gita Mahatma or something together. And then I would continue reading on from Caitanya-bhāgavata. So we could do that. Or the other option is that we take a break from our Caitanya-bhāgavata reading for 3 days. And I'll read the Karma section of Bhagavad Gita one day, then the Bhakti section, Bhakti Yoga section of Bhagavad Gita next day, and then the Jnana Yoga section of Bhagavad Gita. So we divide it into 3 parts and read those 3 parts over the next 3 days. Please let me know in the poll that I'm going to post in our WhatsApp group. If you're not in our WhatsApp group, then you can just leave a comment and I will take a look at it. Yeah. All right. Kishore Prabhu. Oh, wait, I'll do a quick mantra. Sorry, I went overtime today. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Bo. Jai Nityananda Ram, Jai Nityananda Ram, Nityananda Ram, Jai Nityananda Ram, Jai Gauranitai, 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 Jai Gauranitai, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaur, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaur, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Haribo, Nitai Gaur, Haribo. Also, just one point. I'm thinking if I do Bhagavad Gita, what I would do is I'd read the Sanskrit verse and the translation. Of course, not the commentary, but Sanskrit verse, translation, Sanskrit verse, translation. So it would be a long reading. It would probably go longer than our normal reading time. So I'd start at 7, probably go on till like a bit after 9, I'm guessing. So yeah, just letting you know. That's what we do over the next 3 days, if you like the idea. Otherwise, we'll do what I said before. All right, Kishore Baruch, could you lead the Jayadvani?
Jai Nitai.
Jai Nitai.
Jai Subrikar Shri Shekhar Gauranga Ganharvika Girit Hari Radhavinar Vihari Radhanainath Radhaman Vihari Radhamadava Shri Radha Kunj Vihari Ju Ki Jai Sri Govinda Gopinath Manomohan Ju Ki Jai Jai Nityalela Pravishram Vishnu Par Paramahams Bhare Vrachakachari Varya Stodrashta Shishaman Bhakti Vigyan Bharati Goswami Guru Maharaj Ki Jai जय नत्यालेल प्रविष्टम विष्णुपार परमहंस सब्रे व्रजघारे वर्य स्तोत्रस्त शिशुमान भक्तिभ्रांत नारायण गोस्वामी महाराज पति पावन श्रील गुरुदेव की जय जय नत्यालेल प्रविष्टम विष्णुपार स्तोत्रस्त शिशुमान भक्ति बल तीर्थ गोस्वामी महाराज की जय जय नत्यालेल प्रविष्टम विष्णुपार स्तोत्रस्त शिशुमान भक्तिभ्रांत वामन गोस्वामी महाराज की जय जय नत्यालेल प्रविष्टम विष्णुपार स्तोत्रस्त शिशुमान भक्तिभ्रांत त्रिविक्रम गोस्वामी महाराज की जय जय नत्यालेल प्रविष्टम विष्णुपाद स्तोत्रस्त शिशुमाद गौर स्वामी महाराज की जय जय नत्यालेल प्रविष्टम विष्णुपाद स्तोत्रस्त शिशुमाद भक्ति वैभाव पुरी गोस्वामी महाराज की जय जय नत्यालेल प्रविष्टम विष्णुपाद स्तोत्रस्त शिशुमाद भक्ति प्रमोद पुरी गोस्वामी महाराज की जय जय नत्यालेल प्रविष्टम विष्णुपाद स्तोत्रस्त शिशुमाद भक्ति रक्षक श्रीधर गोस्वामी महाराज की जय जय नत्यालेल प्रविष्टम विष्णुपाद स्तोत्रस्त शिशुमान भक्ति कमाल मधुसूदन गोस्वामी महाराज की जय जय नत्यालेल प्रविष्टम विष्णुपाद स्तोत्रस्त शिशुमान भक्ति वेदांत स्वामी गोस्वामी महाराज श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय जय नत्यालेल प्रविष्टम विष्णुपाद स्तोत्रस्त शिशुमान भक्ति द्वैतमाद गोस्वामी परम गुरु महाराज की जय जय नत्यालेल प्रविष्टम विष्णुपाद स्तोत्रस्त शिशुमान भक्ति प्रज्ञान केशव गोस्वामी महाराज परम गुरुदेव की जय जय नत्यालेल प्रविष्टम विष्णुपाद स्तोत्रस्त शिशुमान जगत गुरु श्री वर्षभानावि दैतदास शिल भक्ति सिद्धांत सरस्वती गोस्वामी ठाकुर प्रभुपाद की जय पात्रिका शिल प्रपाद भक्ति सिद्धांत सरस्वती गोस्वामी ठाकुर महाशय की जय नत्यालेल प्रविष्टम विष्णुपाद महापरम भगवत परवार परमहंस अवधूत श्रीमार गौर किशोर दास बाबूजी महाशय की जय नित्यालेल प्रविष्टं विष्णुपाद सप्तम गोस्वामी ष्टोत्रस्त शिशुमात् सुचितानंद भक्ति विनोद ठाकुर महाशय की जय। नित्यालेल प्रविष्टं विष्णुपाद वैष्णव सर्वभौम शिशुमात् जगन्नाथ स्वामी महाशय की जय। सूर्यकुंडवासी सिद्ध शिलवसुंदास बाबूजी महाराज की जय। श्री उर्वरास उदरान दास की जय। गुरुविरान आचार्य शिशिल बलदेव विभूषण प्रभु की जय। महामहोपर्याय रस किशन मणिशिल विश्वनाथ चक्रवर्ती ठाकुर पार की जय। शिल रसकानंद मुरारी प्रभु की जय। शिल रामचंद्र कविराज की जय। श्री लोचन दास ठाकुर की जय। जय शिल नरोत्तम श्रीनिवास श्यामानंद प्रभु राय की जय। शिल कृष्णदास कविराज गोस्वामी प्रभु की जय। यस अवतार अर्कावे शिल वृंदावन दास ठाकुर की जय। श्री अष्ट कविराज वसुर जान नित्यानंद दुर्ष गोपाल श्री चौषधि महंत की जय। जय श्री रूप श्री सनातन भट्ट रघुनाथ श्री जीव गोपाल भट्ट रास रघुनाथ सर्गोस्वामी प्रभु की जय। श्री स्वरूप दामोदर रॉय रमानंद लोकनाथ गर्भ अधि गौर परिशार वृंद की जय। नमाचार्य श्रील हरिदास ठाकुर की जय। प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासरी गौर भक्त वृंद की जय। शिल ईश्वरपुरी गोस्वामी पार की जय। शिल मारविंद्रपुरी गोस्वामी पार की जय। शिल लक्ष्मीपति तीर्थ गोस्वामी पार की जय। जय श्री अंडरद्वीप मायापुर सिमनद्वीप गौद्रुमद्वीप मध्यद्वीप कौलद्वीप ऋतुद्वीप जानुद्वीप मातृ दुर्माद्वीप रुद्रद्वीप मात्मका श्री नावद्वीप धाम की जय। नंदन श्री नंदनाचार्य भवन की जय। श्री निताय गौरंग मिलान की जय। ओम शिवास ठाकुर की जय। जय श्री एक चक्र धाम की जय। श्री एक चक्र धाम योगपीठ की जय। जय श्री हराई पंडित की जय। जय श्री पद्मावती देवी की जय। श्री बंकिम राय की जय। जय श्री निताय जय श्री निताय कुंड की जय। श्री हनुमान गंध की जय। श्री जगन्नाथ मंदिर की जय। श्री मरेश्वर सर शिव महादेव की जय। श्री यमुना देवी की जय। जय श्री एक चक्र चंद्र निताय की जय। जय श्री शांतिपुर धाम की जय। जय श्री सचिदानंद गौर हरि की जय। श्री श्री गौर गदाधर जीव की जय। जय श्री श्री राधा कृष्ण कविनाथ गोपी कपा गोगिर कवितान सर्वनात्माक श्री ब्रज मंडल धाम की जय। जय श्री राधा कुंड श्याम कुंड गंग सखी आमन सखी तुलसी भक्ति देव की जय। वृषभानुनंदिनी श्रीमती राधारानी ठाकुरानी की जय। जय श्री ललिता विशाख चित्र चंपकलत तुंग इंदुल तरंग देवी सुदेवी अरि सखी वृंद की जय। जय श्री आनंद प्रेम मंजलानि श्री रूपल भंग राग विलस गुण रति कस्तूरी कमल नयन मणि अरि मंजारी वृंद की जय। श्री सुबाल मरुमंगल आदि सख वृंद की जय। श्री धाउ भैया की जय। जय श्रीमती वृंद देव की जय। श्रीमती वृंद देवी की जय। श्री भगवती पूर्णमासी उमाई देवी की जय। श्री गोपीश्वर सर शिव महादेव की जय। जय राधा पनंकित धाम श्री वृंदावन की जय। जय श्री जगन्नाथ बलदेव सुभद्रा सुदर्शन चक्र नीलमार्ग जीव की जय। श्री तत्व गोपीनाथ की जय। शिल प्रभा जन्मस्थान की जय। जय श्री जगन्नाथ पुरी पुरुषोत्तम क्षेत्र मंडल नीलाचल धाम की जय। सर्वा विक्रामी नशन करे भक्त विक्रामी नाश श्री नरसिंह देव की जय। भक्तराज भक्त प्रवर श्री प्रहलाद महाराज की जय। श्री प्रहलाद लक्ष्मी नरसिंह देव की जय। श्री चरिताम चरि संप्रदाय चरि आचार्य की जय। श्री मध्वार मनोजा विष्णु स्वामी नंबदित्य चर्याचार्य की जय। शिल व्यास देव की जय। आकर मतर श्री चैतन्य मार की जय। श्री गौरीमार वृंद की जय। ग्रंथरा श्रीमार भगवताम भगवद्गीता चैतन्य चरितामृत चैतन्य भगवत जैव धर्म हरि सर्व गौरी वैष्णव ग्रंथ वृंद की जय। त्रिभुवन मंगल श्री हरिनाम प्रभु की जय। त्रिभुवन मंगल गोलकेर प्रेमदान श्री हरिनाम संकीर्तन धर्म की जय। जय त्रिभुवन मंगल धन्य कलयुग ब्रह्म श्री हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे महामंत्र की जय। श्री आनंद कुरी वैष्णव वृंद की जय। श्री समकट गौर भक्त वृंद की जय। परम ब्रह्मन परमा सत्यम परमेश्वर पति पावन प्रेम पुरुषोत्तम स्वयं भगवान जगन्नाथ मिश्र नंदन गौर सुंदर गराधर प्राणनाथ Shri Vishwambara Mission Nimai Pandit Shri Krishna Chaitanya Chandra Mahaprabhu ki jai. Paramadayal Nityananda Prabhu ki jai. Akanda Guru Adi Guru Shri Prabhu Nityananda Lakshman Haladar Balaram ki jai. Shri Nityananda Ananda Dev ki jai. Premadatta Shri Nitai ki jai. Shri Nityananda Swarup ki jai. Vasudha Pranvallabha Nitai ki jai. Janava Jivana Nitai ki jai. Gauri Jivana Nitai ki jai. जय श्री नित्यानंद राम की जय। गौरीश्वर श्रीमान नित्यानंद प्रभु की जय। जय नित्यानंद प्रिय शिष्य शिल वृंदावन दास ठाकुर महाशय की जय। श्री चैतन्य भगवान की जय। शिल प्रभुपाद भक्ति श्राम सरस्वती गोस्वामी ठाकुर की जय। शिल प्रभुपाद गौरी वश्य की जय। श्री आनंद गुरु वैष्णव वृंद की जय। श्री समगत गौर भक्त वृंद की जय। Upcoming appearance of Śrī Bhagavad Gita ki jai. Śrī Bhagavad Gita ki jai. Śrī Bhagavad Gita ki jai. Jai Śrī Nitai Gaur Premanande Hari Hari Bo. Om Vrindai Tulasi Devya Priya Keshavasya Krishna Bhakti Pradevi Satyavitaya Namo Namaha. Vanjakalpadruvashya Kripasindhuvevcha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Jai Nitai.
So, I just posted in our WhatsApp group the two options. Please, yeah, and if anybody isn't in the WhatsApp group and they'd like to join, let me know. I can send you I can send you the link. Actually, if you just go to Vine of Devotion
We can't hear you so well.
Oops, I forgot the mic was plugged in. Yeah, so I just put it in our WhatsApp group, the two options. Please fill out which one you like. Please select one of the options. And if anybody here is not part of the WhatsApp group and they'd like to join the WhatsApp group, if you go to vineofdevotion.com/CB, then there you'll find the link to the WhatsApp group there. vineofdevotion.com/CB. Yeah, that's our Caitanya-bhāgavata page on my website. So yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing your answers and what we're gonna do tomorrow. Also, when I wrote it here, it got cut off at the end, but I think it's clear enough which one's which. I'm gonna make my option right now. I'm doing that one. There. I'm the first one to. All right, Haribol, everybody. See you all tomorrow, and we'll see what we're gonna do after this results. Okay, let me Dandavat Pranams. Who's there? Kishore Krishna Prabhu, Orika Leva Yurika, Shubhananda Prabhu, Champak Mataji, and Kanika, Krishna Mai Didi, and on YouTube and Facebook, Raseshwari Mataji, Vrinda Didi, Rukmanjari Didi, Rukmini Didi, and Nitai, and Prajumna Prabhu, Mantramurti Mataji, Vidya Lalasa Didi, Vrinda Didi, and who else? I said Prajumna Prabhu, Mantramurti Mataji already, right? Yeah. And Sudevi Didi, and everybody, Dandavat Pranams. See you all tomorrow for whatever we're gonna do. Haribol. Oh wait, Kishore, and Kishore, Shubhananda Prabhu, or anybody, was there anything that you want to mention before we end?
Did you know that there's 12-armed Gauranga?
12-armed Gauranga? No. What is that?
In Chaitanya Mangal, there's a description of Mahaprabhu showing a 12-armed form. Two arms of, same as Ṣaḍbhuja, 2 arms of Ramachandra, 2 arms of Krishna, 2 arms of Mahaprabhu and Nilachal, 4 arms of Lord Vishnu, and 2 arms of Nimai Pandit.
Wow. So Dvadash-pūjā, not Ṣaḍbhuja, Dvadash-pūjā.
Yeah, Dvadash-pūjā.
That's cool. That's very neat. All right. So see you all tomorrow for whatever option we're going to end up doing, whatever you vote on, whatever wins. Haribol.